How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Fumble Live. I'm Devin Howard. You can find me on Instagram as @DevinHoward. I thought it was going to work this time, you guys. Oh, wait, not me this time? Might have been. Anyway, Jackie, tell us.
Hey, everybody. I'm Jackie Ray. You can follow me on all things social media at JRay the Fanatic.
And I'm Britt Johnson. You can follow me on all social media at I am Britt Johnson.
It's your boy Chris. Find me everywhere at CK2K.
All right, you guys. So how was everybody's weekend? What did you get up to? Britt, can you tell me first? I know you had some special plans yesterday.
Nothing happened. I was supposed to, dress up with, my friends, and we were going to do, a Zoom. Nobody did it, so I stayed in my pajamas, and I just watched church online, and then I drank a whole bottle of champagne by myself.
Okay.
And I finished Ozark, so pretty good.
Yes,
I finally finished season 3. I need to talk to people about it. I'm going crazy a little bit, but I finally finished Ozark. What else did I do?
What about
I did not go on the date I was supposed to do. Because he tried to hit me up too late, and I was like, no, I'm drunk already. Goodbye.
I love it. Well, that sounds like a good weekend. I forgot to start watching Ozark, so I messed up on that one.
That was your awful homework all weekend, Devin. Come on.
I know, and I forgot. You know what it is? I was telling Arthi about this yesterday. I fell down a flight of stairs on Friday, so I was...
What?
Whoa.
I was wearing socks and walking on hardwood floors, and my feet just, slipped out from underneath me, so I was a little preoccupied.
Are you okay? Can we leave with that? How you feeling?
I'm feeling
She
okay.
has a giant cast on her leg right now, and we don't even know.
Yeah, I can hide anything. I'm actually feeling better today. It still kind of hurts a little, but yeah. So anyway, that was my weekend. Jackie, what did you get up to this weekend?
So I was feeling a little stir crazy, so I actually went out. And because you guys know I usually change my hair every other week, and I've been rocking this natural for 4 weeks now, and I'm kind of losing it. So I was like, well, let me just go see if the beauty supply store is open. I didn't expect them to be, but they were. So, little fun fact, though, you guys, if you can't find gloves, go to the beauty supply store, because they have a ton of gloves. They have them right at the front. And so, because, people put chemicals and stuff on their head. So when I walked in, totally forgot that I was there to, see what I could do with my hair, and just bought, a whole bunch of gloves. So, yeah. That's how I spent my weekend.
All right, look at that.
That's such a helpful tip. I'm so glad you told us that.
Yeah.
What did you do this weekend?
I finished Ozark as well. Crazy. This last season was dope.
Right?
You guys need to get on. I don't understand
The last second of the thing, how it ended, I'm like, what? I literally started screaming, and I said some cuss words.
Insane.
I have to do it. I still haven't gotten through that first. That first episode is rough. It is terrible.
I got bad news too. You gotta get through the first 3 episodes. They're all slow.
Oh, can I just go to the 4th now that I know?
You need them. The information's important.
Yeah.
You don't. You know. You'll be okay. You'll be fine. But we finished that, and then did the Easter thing on Sunday, and after that, I was streaming all day. And
did you dress up for Easter?
No, absolutely not.
Me neither. That was my whole plan. Did you, Jackie? Did your mom figure out how to use Zoom and everything?
So funny thing is I was like, she's never gonna figure this out, right? And then 7 a.m. my phone is ringing because she done figured it out. She's all dressed up, and I'm like, you've got to be freaking kidding me. So I was like, I'll call you right back. Threw on some clothes really quick, and we sat and we watched it. The one time I was like, she'll never figure this out. She's like, are you ready to, it's Resurrection Sunday. Are you ready to praise Jesus? Like, no, I actually wasn't, but I will be.
That is so cute. I love that.
Right?
Okay, you guys, I'm going to jump into our first story. It's all about that horse competition. So, spoiler alert, it really didn't go as I think they were hoping it would. I know I had my doubts about how this would work with it being done remotely, leaving the filming up to the players and whoever else they were quarantining with. I think we talked about it, how it would work and how it would look. The poor video quality made it really, really unbearable, actually. So the whole competition started off with Trey and Chauncey. NBA fans were just trolling it. I have a clip that I'm going to show you guys just so you all can see how bad the quality was. So Leo, could you put it up there, please?
The rim, right? I got it right side of the rim.
It is really fun.
Oh, wow, right in the sun right now. That's even though it's week, we were busy this morning to check.
But then they can't do anything.
Oh!
Yeah.
I know, it's pretty weird. It was like almost like it was shot on a Razor phone. You remember Razor?
Yeah, like,
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
From like 2000. So yeah, people were just trolling it online. They were tweeting things like, appreciate the effort, but it's not too late to cancel this horse tournament on ESPN. I can't watch this camera. JJ Redick even tweeted, horse could not be worse. I gave it 5 minutes, hard pass. Others were saying things like, this is awful television. This is how the horse competition was filmed, and it's a guy filming it on an old flip phone. Someone else called it the Blair Hoops Project.
Oh, that's great.
So creative. That was such a good one. But, it happened. They're continuing to let it go throughout the week. The semifinals air on Thursday. We have to talk about it. The winners on Sunday were Chauncey, Mike, Zach, and Allie.
Hey, who said Zach and Allie were gonna do it? This girl right here. This girl right here. I'm just saying.
You called it.
I did. And Zach wasn't allowed to do dunks. Dunks were not allowed, and he still won. So that he had that deep 3-pointer and still won. Over Paul Pierce too. Paul Pierce, that's what he does, is shoot threes, and Paul Pierce.
Man, that's what Paul Pierce did. I don't know what Paul Pierce does. Paul Pierce is so bad. It's like, oh my God.
True.
So Chris, did
But
you watch
still,
the
like, you should remember your shot, you know?
Right. No, I agree. He should at least have the shot, at least. But I watched. I didn't know because we were talking about the groups and stuff, so I didn't know exactly who was going against who. Because my two picks, like I said, was Chauncey and Trey, but they ended up going against each other. But it's okay because old man Chauncey going on to the next round like I expected. So
would you have picked Chauncey over Trey?
Yeah. If I had known they were playing, yes, I would have. I'm telling you guys, I'm going with the old man, and Paul Pierce not included. I'm going with the old man because you saw the shots he was doing, even in that bad quality, even though we could barely tell what it was. He's doing the behind the backboard jump shots. He's doing jump shots left hand on the three. Or like he's gonna do all the old school stuff, and I knew that
My bet is Zach wins it all.
I could see that too for sure because the stuff he was doing was crazy.
We'll have to tune in for the shaky, low quality camera.
Can't they just put a camera on a tripod and just a wide shot and just don't move it?
I just don't understand. These are all like either previous or current professional athletes. Y'all can't get like an iPhone 11 to record it on. Like, I'm so confused. That's supposed to have like HD, like top quality. These videos, and then I'm so confused because everybody's TikTok be looking like great productions, and then you look at this. Like, I'm so confused.
And they can miss me with the Wi-Fi stuff because there are ways to get. They got money, so they can't tell me Wi-Fi. But no. There's people on Twitch that do not make half the money you guys make that can do streams in grocery stores and stuff. That way clearer than those. So it's like I don't know how much effort they put into it.
ESPN would send them like the little Wi-Fi things that they can to make their Wi-Fi better if need be, but. Come on.
I don't think they put much thought into it. That's the thing. You can tell that they were just like, let's just go out here and shoot. Nobody thought about anything outside of that, which I don't expect them to. It's a game of horse. I didn't expect them to really sit down and navigate through it. But if you're going to put it on,
that's the part.
It look good, you know?
Yeah.
Terrible.
You would think that ESPN would even just send them nice little Sony cameras and say, just use this to film. Here's a tripod. Set it up so we can see everything. Not even a phone. I mean, ESPN has the money to send out.
My only thing with that, though, is because they were communicating throughout, so you can't really do it that way. It'd be one thing if you take a shot and send it, but they were communicating throughout the event, so I don't know how they would be able to get that done. I think the better option would still on ESPN, because they could have sent, like Britt said, they could have sent them those little Wi-Fi, whatever the things are called, that they can, bring with them to at least up their quality. Because the way that everything was going on, that was more of the internet than it was the cameras. I mean, the cameras still were doo-doo, but...
They could have made a hotspot. Doesn't everybody have a phone? Like, one person make your phone the hotspot. That's all you have to do.
They just didn't put any effort into it for sure.
So, I have a question, Britt, for you. Do you think ESPN should just quit this horse competition, cancel it, considering how negative the reactions were, or do you think that it should?
No, they're gonna finish it out because they just have to finish it now. Maybe they just put it on YouTube. I don't know if they're gonna just or if they should continue broadcasting it. But like, I feel like because we've already like seen the first like round or whatever, they could think of something to do for the next round. Like, I'm sure they're like having a round table right now, just like we're discussing, like, oh, maybe get the little Wi-Fi things to send them hotspots, like trying to fix the glitches, because that's always going to happen with like TV and stuff. I know when we used to, even this show started going live, there was little glitches we had, and we just kind of figure stuff out. So I'm sure they'll figure it out a little bit in the next round. We would hope would be better, but they'll still do it. They're going to finish it. They have nothing else to do.
Right, exactly.
Jackie, were you expecting it to be slightly better than it was, or were you prepared for it to look and be like this?
I don't think I had a thought process on the look. I thought it was going to be trash, just all the way around. I said that off top. I was like, I haven't put any thought into this. Only reason I'm talking about it is because we have to for the fumble. But outside of that, I wouldn't even be considering it, because I think it looks like what I thought it would look like. It looks like some guy sat around and was like, hey, we have to do something. Let's do this. And that was the entire planning process.
Yeah.
Nothing else was said after that. Nothing. So I'm not surprised at all. I do think they're probably sitting down now and saying, okay, that was an epic fail. How can we make it slightly better? But I think it'll be just slightly better on this next round. So we'll see, though.
We'll see. In the meantime, let's get into some actual NBA news, not horse competitions, but when this might resume and how they're planning on doing it. So if the time comes for the NBA to come back to the 2019-2020 season, there's actually going to be a 25-day window for players and teams to prepare. So it's not like they're going to announce it one day and then tomorrow, everything starts. The next day it all starts. So that 25 days will include 11 days for individual workouts with social distancing measures in place, and 14 days for team training camps. So they're unsure if teams would jump straight into playoffs or if the league would finish the remainder of the regular season. There aren't any solid answers right now at this point, which is what we know. And they're still kind of waiting to see how the pandemic plays out. But just last week, we talked about how the league was preparing to shut down completely. They were making all of the necessary preparations to handle a canceled season. Executives were reportedly feeling very pessimistic about things, and now we're hearing that they're putting plans in place for how and when they would start. So my questions for you, Chris, I'm going to start off with you. Does having this plan in place make you feel excited that maybe the season actually will resume, or do you think that this is just part of their planning process in general?
I just think it makes sense, but I just think it's so crazy that they're going to have to add a whole month of preparation to end a season, and then the season ends and then do the same thing over for the next season. I get it. Like, they got to do that because going right into it, they're not going to be in shape. A lot of these dudes don't have gyms or anywhere to work out and stuff like that. So I get it. But that's 25 days. Like, that's insane. That's crazy. It's crazy. It's just crazy to think about. But again, I think it's like a lot of things that we've been finding out. It's just, these are all thoughts and ideas that they're doing. We don't know what is actually going to come. We still don't know if, like you said, what we were hearing, the thoughts or the talks for last week were if the season's going to actually continue or not. We still don't know if that's going to happen or whatever. But going strictly off of this report, I think it makes sense. To me, just putting it all together is just crazy. To then do that, finish the season ends, then do it again for the next season. It's just, I don't know, that's kind of weird to me, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
So when I was looking at the reactions on Twitter to this news, so many people, an overwhelmingly large amount of people, were just saying, cancel the season. Why are you even doing this? Why are you risking the players' lives and their health for a basketball game or the playoffs? Just cancel the season altogether. And that actually surprised me. Are we reaching a point where we should just cancel the season? Jackie, can you tell me your thoughts?
So I probably fall on the drastic opposite side of that thought process. Like I said, I went out this weekend. So I went out to a beauty supply store. I went out to Ralph's, and then you see these normal, average, everyday Joes that are, checkers, cashiers, stalkers. They're going out every day, and they're just protected by, like this fake plexiglass shield thing for the cashiers, and then gloves and masks for for the stalkers and whatnot. So in my head, like I said last week, I don't know how long we can do this. I'm very much on just start the season, start training right now. Tell them they're going into training on Monday and let's get back to basketball, because I just don't think we can pull this off forever. And, I'm one of those people that are like diving into all the what's going on with the coronavirus, and to find out that, say if I got hit by a bus today and passed away, but I'm carrying the coronavirus, they're going to put on my death certificate that I died from the coronavirus, even though I got hit by a bus. So I think the numbers are skewed. So I'm very much, let's try to get back to some normalcy. And I think that from a psychological standpoint, we need to get back to some type of normalcy. And I think we all kind of fall back onto sports and entertainment for that sense of, it's comfort for us. So I'm very much do what you need to do, but figure out how to start this season.
Well then, Britt, at what point do you see this plan being initiated?
I'm just like just start it. Like, I don't understand the first 11 days they're going to be working out on their own anyway, so why not start it now? I'm just like, get it rolling. Like, now we're at a point where none of the players have it right now, so start it now. Like, what's the problem? I'm sick of hearing plans that are supposed to be plans that are going to happen. If you don't have nothing to actually tell us, then don't tell us anything. I'm sick of it, honestly. And then they said they weren't even thinking about, we'll wait till May to see when we're going to start this 25-day plan. Then don't tell us about no damn 25-day plan. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Duh, there's going to be some situation where they have to start working out again. I think we all kind of knew that. Do I care if it's 25 days or 30 days? No, I don't give a shit. Just get it started at some point so we could continue on with our lives. That's all.
You know what I feel like they could do is open up the gyms for these self-isolated workouts. If they're going to be doing 11 days of social distance individual workouts, why not let them do that now? It seems like a logical thing to do. Don't have a bunch of other people in the gym with them, but let the players maintain their athleticism and their activity level so that they could come back to the game sooner. At least that's
I
my
agree with that. Yeah.
Okay, let's jump into our third story, the final one that I have for you, and it's all about Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell. So last week I told you how Donovan Mitchell was saying that, or rumors had it that the two players were just completely on the outs, their relationship was unsalvageable, a trade might be in order if they can't get their friendship back on the mend. But now Rudy says that there is no trouble between them anymore. Donovan was obviously upset by Rudy's behavior when the coronavirus was ramping up, and then when the two tested positive, Donovan was even more angry with Rudy. But Rudy says there's just no trouble anymore, the two are doing fine, and they're united in their quest to win. I have a clip that I want to show you also, Leo, if you could play that right now.
It is true that we didn't speak for a while after this, but we did spoke a few days ago, and like I said, we both ready to go out there and try to win a championship for this team. It's all about being a professional, and everyone got different relationships. Everyone got it's never perfect. Married people that are married, it's never perfect. So me and my teammate, no, it's not. It's far from perfect. But at the end of the day, we both want the same thing, and it's winning. And and we both grown men, and we both gonna do what it takes to win.
So Rudy is really, really downplaying any drama and tension that might exist between himself and Donovan. So I wonder if you guys can tell me, do you think he's just trying to minimize their problems to quiet the media conversation and chatter about it? We just heard they're on the outs. Rudy is now saying they're totally fine. Jackie, what do you think?
He might be. He, like Britt said last week, they probably haven't even talked. So I don't know if he's minimizing it, or maybe it's just minimal to him right now because they haven't even had a chance to really have a conversation. They haven't seen each other. But, I think he's probably, if Donovan is mad, Rudy's probably just in a different place. And he's probably like, look, man, I didn't have taste for a while. I'm not trying to deal with this pettiness, So he might just be in a different place than Donovan is. And he's kind of, face the reality of what this virus means, and now he's in a different plane where he's looking at the bigger picture versus your little feelings. But I'm not entirely sure. I don't know. Like I said, I just don't see it being as big as what we think it is. And I think that once they're face to face, it's not going to be that big a deal. But I mean, who knows? Maybe.
Britt, do you feel like they've resolved everything, or are you feeling the same way Jackie is?
Well, like I said last week, I don't think they've talked. I still don't think they've talked. But again, like basketball is their job. Well, everybody works with people that they don't like at some point, so you still got to go in and do your job. And I think that's what Rudy was basically saying. Like, he didn't say that they're perfectly fine and they're best friends again, but like really, like, something happened, you get over it, and we're trying to win and play basketball games. So at the end of the day, that should be what really matters. There's ton in the history of basketball. There's tons of all the rumors with Kobe and Shaq not liking each other. And like, at the end of the day, you need to just go out there and play basketball. That's your job. We all have to deal with it at some point in our lives where we are around people that we don't necessarily like or agree with or whatever the case is. And you got to do your job because that's what you're paid to do. So they're getting paid a lot of money to not be that petty. So let's just chill on the pettiness and do your job.
Right. Yeah, we've been talking about this subject a lot. So, Chris, I'm going to ask you a slightly different kind of question. If you were Donovan, do you think you would still be upset with Rudy, or would you feel motivated to mend things simply because you are on the same team and you want to get back to playing as a cohesive unit?
Well, I mean, if the other rumors outside of everything is true, where they already had some beef even before this whole coronavirus stuff, that's a loaded question. But just going strictly off of what's going on right now, yeah, I mean, as the leader of the team, I said it last week, and Jackie just said it too. The minute we are going back to not training camp, but feel like training camp, the minute we go back to practice and we're getting ready to get back out there and play, yeah, I'm trying to bury the hatchet for this season. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna go in there, we're gonna work. We got to go get some dubs, and that's what it's about. But that's strictly off of what's going on right now. Because I agree, I don't think they've spoken. I mean, he talked around it, but I doubt that they've really spoken since any of this has gone on. He says that they didn't speak for a while, but then didn't really specify if they ever spoke. I doubt that they spoke. So if I'm Donovan Mitchell going into practice, I'm just like, yo, we still got some games left. We're in a good position right now. Let's finish out the season and see what we can do. And that's literally all my mindset would be. All the other stuff will come later.
Got it. Well, yeah, we'll have to see how things play out if the season resumes again. We'll see how they are on the court. But that's all I've got for you guys. So, Chris, if you want to take us into your segment.
So it's time for the post-up. It's your boy Chris, Quarantine Edition. Now this first one, people were going crazy last week when Steph said what he said. But we saw Steph and his old teammate. Oh my goodness, almost
JaVale McGee.
Come on, man. Did you really just disrespect him like that?
The thing, and it was about Joel Embiid, and I was called JaVale Joel. It doesn't matter. JaVale McGee was asking Steph some questions, and the very first question was asking which team he looked forward to when he sees the brand new schedule at the beginning of every season. And this was Steph's answer. Can we listen in?
What team or player on that team that you know is guarding you do you look at it and be like, oh yeah, I'm getting 60 tonight?
Ooh. Everybody.
I love the reaction. You know, when I saw this, I was just like, I love it. That's a great answer. He even said that, he gave that answer for JaVale, knowing that would hype up JaVale. But man, did all my boys, and we talked about it, everyone was like, yo, man, this quarantine got Steph Curry talking crazy. He out here thinking he can drop 60 on everybody. Does Kawhi not exist? And then people going,
I was like, the Clippers, really? That defense? I don't think so, bro.
But I just feel like everyone's just taking it too serious. Just like, I mean, obviously, I feel like that's the answer he was going to drop. I feel like you ask anybody that you're looking at, no one's going to say, unless like there's a real rivalry, like the Kobe would be like, yo, I think I would go straight after whoever it is at the time that he's feeling he wants to give that work to. Those kind of players do that. But nowadays, like that. What's up? Go ahead.
Oh, I think this is like a perfect like Steph answer because Steph isn't going to like try to bash another team like directly. So the easy answer was to say everybody, because if you say, well, the Knicks or the whatever, then it's like, oh, like Steph Curry hates the Knicks. He's like blah, 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 or like whatever. Like he had to say everybody, or it's like going to be not a Steph move, like Steph has to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think anything of it. I loved it. The reaction, JaVale's hilarious. The reaction was great. Steph tried so hard to keep that mean mug the entire time, but he even laughed. He's like, "Oh!" I loved it. So you guys, Devin, you buying this? You think that he really believes that, or that was just for the reactions for us to talk about it?
I mean, I don't know. I think it probably was just for the reactions. Right now, isn't his career high right now is 54 points in a game, so he's never even reached 60. So, I mean, I think if anyone could do it, maybe it's Steph. He's really good, but I think it was just for the reaction, just for something to talk about.
Delano Steele says, funny, Steph Curry will drop 60 on Portland and Dame Lillard will get 62 and get the win. LOL. I'm going to go with that. Just like we're laughing at that, I think that's exactly why Steph said it. We're bored right now. We'll literally hang on to anything anybody says right now, but I thought it was cute, and I think Steph was just being his cute little ha-ha self. It was cute.
And I just want to mention when you did drop that 53-point game, it was against my team, and ask if they won. They didn't. Anyways, moving on to the next topic, we are talking about Giannis. We're talking about sports families, okay? Now, we talked about the houses from last week, and like it was like a celebrity house, but this one is sports. This is strictly sports, and it's sports siblings. And Giannis saw the tweet, and as he's been doing this entire quarantine, he has been responding to tweets. Here are the houses. We have the Gronkowski house. I forgot all these damn Gronkowskis played, but yes, they were definitely in the league. We got the Antetokounmpo house. That Giannis is a part of the Antetokounmpo house, but we'll talk about who he picked. We got the Currys. We got the oh my goodness. We got the say it. Hit me with the is it Ogong?
Yep. You see, none of us are chiming in. Just roll with it. I
can't say your last name today. I apologize. But we got the Watts, and then we got the Williams, Serena, and Venus. So he tweeted this, just saying Watt House. I mean, he got his whole family on the thing, and he chose to go to the White House. I have no beef with this because, you know what? I love my brothers to death, too, but if I can choose to go with another fun family that, you know, in sports as well, I'd be like, yeah, I know these guys. I live with these guys. Let me go. The Watts seem fun. They got a TV show. Let me go hang out with the Watts. So I didn't think anything of it. I know people in the comments were like, ooh, shade. He doesn't like his family. Ooh, da-da-da-da-da. But you guys, what do you guys think about this response? I'll go to you first, Brett.
What do you mean? What do I think about it?
Who
wants to hang out in a house with their whole family that they've already been living with their whole entire lives? Of course, you want to go to somebody else's house.
The fun family, the Watts. You guys have
I would probably go to like the Antetokounmpo house. Honestly, that's where I would go. I'll take that house. I'll take your place, Giannis. You can leave.
Brett Antetokounmpo. There it is. Write it down. There it is. That's it.
There we go.
I think the Williams house is the best option because there's the fewest people, so you don't have to deal with as many people around.
Got it. Okay, I get it.
I go with the White House too, though, just because they look like they are so much fun. I cannot wait until that tag show comes out. I'm all about the Watts personally.
Let me jump with the Currys because every Curry got a jump shot, so let me get one too. Sedell got a jump shot too, so let me get in there and see on me and let me get my jump shot right.
Nobody clearly wants the Gronk house because that's going to be party central. No parts of that house.
It's going to come out and not have a kidney.
Caught on fire.
Right.
LeVar Ball. I'm not doing LeVar Angle casting. I'm not that crazy. All right. So moving on to the next one. Still on Giannis. Giannis, a picture went up online, and he loved it so much that he posted on his IG, and it's a picture of fat Giannis. Okay,
no.
Thing I don't know, but maybe this is what this quarantine is over. But he simply added the caption, "Every woman's dream." ... And it's a big Giannis.
Maybe from the neck up, yeah.
But that's a big Giannis looking like Big Baby Davis. I'm gonna leave it at that. I will go on.
I don't know if you guys saw in the chat on Friday though. Somebody said that we were all gaining weight. Did you guys see that in the chat on Friday? They said Fumble fam is looking like they've been eating good, and I was like, hold on, what you trying to say?
Look, man. Moving on to the next one. We have a Kyrie Irving sighting. Guys, ever since this man was taken out of the lineup to go and get his surgery, we have not seen or heard anything from Kyrie Irving. He has been off everything, the internet, anything. He was on the bench in the games they were playing and stuff like that. Couldn't find Kyrie Irving anywhere, and it's a little upsetting because now we're in this phase of everybody joining TikTok. And Kyrie Irving, for those who do not remember, back when Vine was a thing, Kyrie Irving's Vines were legendary. So I was looking forward to seeing some Kyrie Irving TikToks because he's a funny dude. Like, he may be weird, but his comedy's right. And, I think it would have been funny to see him on TikTok. Well, the wait has ended because he did a TikTok with his family. And, his reaction, we can't do the music, we can't play. So here's a TikTok. Like, it's cute, the family doing their thing. I love it. I'm all for, family TikTok. But Kyrie got a little too, happy at the end. Like, look at
I love it.
that thing right there is like, you would have thought the book, and then she just wanted it. Crazy, but it was fun. I enjoyed it. I hope that this is the beginning of many, because like I said, I don't care if he plays for the Nets, but Vine Kyrie was hilarious, so I hope that we get some TikTok Kyrie. That'd be dope.
Weird though. He was like standing off to the side the whole time, like, you're supposed to be in a line, sir.
Right.
Like, he was just like looking, because at the beginning I was like, so is he just watching it happen, and then he jumped in the line at the end? It was so weird.
Different though, because when he was looking at it, he looked like he was just like, "Oh, this is fun. They're doing cool thing." And then all of a sudden,
I thought he was just watching it, and then he jumped in. I was like, okay.
Yeah, shout out to Kyrie. Moving on. It's rare that we have a combination of players like this on a live stream. Now, I say that because for those who are real Fumble gang, Britt's favorite player is Damian Lillard, and those who been here for about 5 minutes know that Jackie's favorite player is LeBron James.
You got it wrong. Don't disrespect. I heard the what was that? What was that?
No, LeBron James. But we got forces combined where they were both clowning on themselves. Like, we know them for being great players on the court, doing great things. We even talked about Dame Lillard, and we're here talking about Steph Curry because Dame is that great. And LeBron James, we don't need to say much. But these guys took the time to bash on themselves, as they kind of should. I feel like they were a little too harsh on themselves, but they decided to bash themselves, and it was hilarious because I'm all for people laughing at themselves. I love that. But check it out and listen to them here.
We need answers right now, bro.
Yo, you got me on your live looking hella rough right now.
Hey, look at me. I keep a perfect fade.
Yo, I know. And listen, when I seen you, I was like, I'll hop on with you real quick.
You gonna be ugly? Like, you gonna be ugly with me, bro?
Yo, I'm like, hey, yo, we the ugly twins right now. I'm like,
hey, bro. Oh well.
Oh well, huh?
Chilling, bro. What you on?
Man, I'm here with
LeBron's schoolgirl laugh always makes me laugh. Like, laugh LeBron always makes me laugh.
You see him smoothing down that hair though? Savannah cut his hair. That hairline look okay.
Can we give LeBron a round of applause for having the do-rag off after not getting cut like that? That's a big move, man. I really thought we'd see some craziness going on. It looked all right. You don't find the beard what's reckless. But
Dame looked exactly the same. Like, I know Dame does always have a fresh fade. Always a fresh fade. But it didn't look like, I'm like, Dame, you look perfectly fine. Like, and then he's like, we're the ugly twins. Like, y'all don't look. I mean, LeBron is a little more with the beard. The beard's just like a little extra thick and stuff. But like Dame, he has that baby face already in his hair. I was like, you look exactly the same. Like, chill out, bro.
LeBron's beard could be.
He's just looking for a compliment.
I don't know if you saw LeBron's live, but Savannah, that's why his hairline in the front looked good. He let Savannah trim him up. But when she got to the beard, his eyes got big, and then all of a sudden the live kind of ended.
Okay. All right. Okay, so she's the one that kept his line up all right. Okay. Let me see. So before we move on, I have to, whenever we have a Laker talking to somebody else, the sirens go off with fans on Twitter, and this was no different because we have so-and-so to Laker alert because
come on.
Look at this top-notch.
This is terrible.
To Lakers alert. Okay, guys, the conspiracy continues. Now, this Photoshop is bar none the best that we've had on Post Up. Mm-hmm. Top notch. Now, guys, you cannot tell me you're not.
That's the same guy that did the same.
Not even yellow. That's like lime green. That's like Fumble lime green. That's not even yellow.
Leave little Timmy alone.
Work right there. And you know what?
I did the Rams logo for sure.
Yeah, it's little Timmy. I told you.
Yep.
He's like, I would like Damian Lillard on the Lakers, and he did that. was cute. That was cute.
And I'll make his jersey. I'll design his jersey.
Yeah.
Good. Perfect.
So yeah, I don't even have to ask. No one's buying that. That's not happening. Anyways, on to
I like that rumor better though. I would co-sign on that one.
Uh-oh.
If I had to pick right now, I'm co-signing on that one first.
Over the Giannis one though?
Yes.
If Dame Lillard goes to the Lakers, I just I can cheer for him in Portland. As a Clippers fan, it's still okay. You know, obviously in the playoffs, I'm always going to want the Clippers to still win. But like a Battle of LA, where it's like my favorite team and then my favorite player on the other team, I can't. That's not right. Dame would never hurt me like that. Dame.
That one any energy.
That would make such great Fumble lives, though. Be like, Brett, did you see all them?
No, I could not. There's no way I would be able to talk about sports again. Never.
It would be so conflicting for you, Brett.
I will be the NFL specialist. I will only talk about football. I will not mention basketball ever again in my whole career, ever.
Like to say, Chris is jealous because the Knicks can get a superstar. I know you meant to say can't, but I read can, so you're right. Maybe one day the Knicks can get a superstar. You try to burn me, but you burned yourself with your bad grammar. So moving to the next one. Sharif O'Neal roast his paps. But here's the thing, like, he kind of did roast him by putting the video up, but Shaq roasted himself because he named the boat. It'll all make sense, but check out this TikTok where Sharif roasted Daddy Shaq. The thing is, he named it the free throw. So I get it. Like it was a funny joke. It was hilarious. The TikTok was great, but I can't count that. That's Shaq roasting himself. I'm not gonna give that one to Sharif.
Yeah, he definitely roasted himself.
Yeah, he knew. Moving on to a roast that was definitely one player roasting the other one. We going back to LeBron James roasting the post-ups Hall of Famer Kuzma. He likes to post his different artsy or attempts at artsy photos on IG, and LeBron wasn't gonna let him slide because Kuzma posted this picture right here, and it was the second picture in the slideshow that he had, and LeBron was not letting it go, and he said, "Man, why the fucks are you standing like that on your second slide with a bunch?" I mean, a bunch of laughing emojis, and he just looked lost. The dog don't even want to look at.
Right. That is so. He looks like he. I don't know. Is about to like do some crazy like weird shit. Like I don't even want to say, but he looks a little suspect there.
It's like it's him at school and his mom slid and picked him up. That's what he looked like, and I love what after him. I'm all for it, but Kuzma. We like to poke fun at Kuzma here. We have two more.
It's so easy.
That's what I'm saying. He does it. Like I'm just taking. He's lobbing them to me, and he's making me look like a superstar, dunking him down. Now, next one is Alex Morgan, who is a beast. Now, she's already been posting videos because for those who didn't know, she was pregnant. She is on her 9th month now, and she's been posting videos throughout her pregnancy of workouts and photo shoots and stuff like that, where she's still like a baller. And this one right here is no different because she's out here working out, and like I just said at the beginning, she is 9 months pregnant, people, and look at her go. Like you wouldn't have any audition. You're like, wow.
I mean, that's what my body looks like right now when I'm working out with the belly.
She's working out harder than I ever do, and she's 9 months pregnant. Like this is insane.
She's making me look bad for real.
That is beast mode, but yeah, I mean, she. There's a reason why the women's soccer team is
let's pay these women. U.S. Soccer Federation, pay the women. Because guess what? They have babies, and then they come back and they still win World Cups, okay?
And it's all baby. It's like right in front, just that perfect little belly. You can't even tell from behind that she's pregnant. It's crazy.
Weight vest right there. Baby's a weight vest. So, I mean, that's adding on to the weight. Right. Out there, she doing it. That's work right there. And last but not least, today is actually the anniversary of Kobe's 60-point last game of his career, and this story came out over the weekend that I absolutely loved. I thought it was hilarious. And Isaiah Ryder, you could tell he didn't even he felt he shouldn't have shared it, but he still shared it.
Matt's like, go ahead.
I loved it, and this story is great. It's basically about Shaq paying Isaiah Ryder to fight Kobe. But I'm gonna let him say it himself because this story is great. So can we run that clip?
Shaq.
I love his face afterwards. He's like, man, I can't believe y'all made me say that. Like the way
he's like, I should have texted Shaq. Damn it.
Right.
Yo, they get the best stories on that show. One of the best podcasts in the game. But I'm trying to keep it on the light because I don't want Jackie to fight me after the show because I'm dropping after we talking about Kobe and then now she got to talk about what she got to say. Mm-hmm. But I'm really curious, and I don't mean to go this way, but because of today, man, I remember where I was during this game because my little brother had his little banquet because it was his senior year, but the game was on, and his head coach was talking in the front, giving everybody the honors, and, Nick got his work because he had the highest amount of points in the league and stuff like that, but none of them were paying attention to the man speaking because they were all huddled around this small little TV watching Kobe's last game. So I'm curious if you guys remember where you guys were. If you guys were watching this game, I'd be surprised if you guys weren't watching this game or at least caught the house. Where were you guys during his final game? Kobe 60, Mamba out. Do you guys remember?
Yes, I actually went to a sports bar. I was on a blind date on this last game. This guy had been trying to meet me forever, and I was like, well, we got to go somewhere where we can watch Kobe's last game. Blind date ended up being not fun, but there was all these Laker fans. I obviously was not a Laker fan, but I just remember all of a sudden we became this big family. Everybody cried. It was just a beautiful thing. I'll never forget that. I don't remember the dude's name that I was on the blind date with. But I would remember his face because of that night, because I'll never forget that night. It was just a really emotional night. Especially there were some people there who kind of were like me that had that love-hate relationship with Kobe. You loved him. Like I do Steph. I love Steph because he's so cute and awesome, but I hate playing against him. So, right. And then you see those people that are like, oh man, what are we going to do now? Who are we going to talk bad about kind of thing. It was a beautiful night. It really was.
Yeah. Do you guys remember Devin and Britt?
I was in Thailand, so it was hard for me to watch anything when I was abroad.
Right.
But I watched highlights and replays afterwards on my phone, but always really struggled to have internet connection when I was over there.
There's internet connection looking like the horse competition. I get it. I remember.
Right.
Yeah. I was at the parlor. Like everybody else is. I was at the parlor watching it. I was probably pretty tipsy at the time. I didn't I actually was the one arguing that they're just he just scored that much because they're just giving him the ball.
Right.
Well, they're still losing, so who cares?
And I'm it's against the Jazz or whatever. It didn't matter. They weren't going to go to the play. I was just well, they're just letting him score because whatever. And then I thought it was funny because Kobe, after had made fun of it, oh, the one time, you guys call me a ball hog, and then my last game, everybody just kept giving me the ball or whatever, right. So I could score. So he was making fun of himself in that moment, too, because he's y'all always called me a ball hog, but now I couldn't even, pass the ball to nobody. You guys kept passing it back to me, so, yeah.
It was beautiful. It was.
Shit,
That note, I hand it over to you, Jackie, for WTF.
Okay, guys, we're going to get into some WTF moments, but this first one is more I told you so. We cannot continue to... This is week 4 of this confinement thing? It's getting to be a lot now.
Before you...
What?
I'm going to leave right now.
See?
I don't want to hear what you have to say.
He knows it's coming. All right, but listen... So, like most states, Texas has a stay-at-home order that prohibits, they're trying to limit people going out. They also have a statute that prohibits you gathering more than 10 people. So everybody focus on Britt now. Everybody's eyes on Britt as I finish this. But because Dak, you would consider him the golden boy. He was kind of the good do-gooder and said the right thing when Jerry had his elitist moments. Back in the Kaepernick saga bend a knee thing, he also played through his rookie contract and never complained, just smiled and got out there and said it was all about football. So you kind of expect him to do the right thing at all times, but he's not. he's throwing parties, and he's throwing parties that had at least 30 people there. Apparently, it was for one of his friend's birthdays. They had a little sit-down dinner first, and Zeke was there. TMZ has a picture of someone at the party trying to take a bite of something, and Zeke is in the background.
First of all, that does not look like Ezekiel Elliott. I don't care what anybody says. Look how chunky that man is. That is not Zeke. I don't care. That's totally like a relative.
Zeke is not that is not Zeke. Not the skinniest person on the planet anyway.
He ain't that big either, and Zeke has a six-pack.
Forget
how big that guy is. That guy he has boobs, okay? Like, that is not Zeke.
You guys don't know. Britt's a Cowboy fan. This happens a lot. Denial happens a lot with Cowboy fans. But
he wasn't there, but that guy is not. There's no way that is Zeke.
Pretty sure that's Zeke. But listen, so the police had to investigate. I'm positive these police officers are Cowboys fans because they had no evidence that they actually had more than 10 people there. So go ahead, Britt. Is he tarnishing his image? We know that was Zeke, but Britt says it's not. But anyway, is Dak Prescott specifically tarnishing his image by having this party?
I think it's a little not okay to do, especially since you got franchise tagged or whatever, the exclusive franchise tag this year, but that doesn't mean you're not still working through contract negotiations to try to get a long-term deal. So I don't think that was the smartest thing to do. They did not say there was at least 30 people here. They said that could be 30, but they're Cowboys fans, so the police literally said we cannot confirm nor deny if there were 10 people or more there. So this is all just like talk. There was like a table that showed like where everybody was eating. There were not more than like 10 place settings there. So I'm just going to say this isn't true, I don't believe that this happened. But obviously Dak, this is like his second offense. So that's the problem. Like I always say, like your reputation precedes you. And he posted the picture with Dez and stuff, all like hugged up. So now people can get off Dez's back because it looks like the guy that's wanting the hugs and wanting to be around people is Dak. It's not Dez. That's a Dak thing. So maybe we push that energy towards Dak because he is the one that likes to be around people. And who says this whole group of people hasn't been in the same house quarantined together this whole time?
Oh God, like that is a reach, and you know it. You know that's a reach.
People, their families, they're all quarantined together. They're a Cowboys family, and they have been quarantined together this whole entire time. That is my story,
do I sound this delusional?
You're hearing it. This out, yeah. This is a very familiar.
All right, Chris, you want to drop some reality on this one?
I have this picture, and you cannot convince me that palm tree is Zeke.
All
right.
I'm saying I have this thing zoomed in, and you cannot convince me that palm tree look is not Zeke. Zeke, he doesn't even look that fat. It's just in the face like Zeke. He looked like a chipmunk with 2 acorns in his face. That's how Zeke
Zeke looks like.
Yeah.
Look at the body. Look at the body. And then that girl's standing there, so she's covering up what is a big belly.
He looked like Zeke. Zeke, it looked like I don't know. That's a stretch.
Look, Rick can defend this all day.
I'm supposed to say, real quick, but you want the attention on Dak rather than Dez?
Why?
At least Dak is on the team, and he has a franchise tag for this year. I'm trying to get Dez on the team. Like, help a sister out. Okay?
Like, take the hit back down.
You know what, Chris? Let them keep putting that on Dez, and then we can send them to New Orleans.
Come on back.
Right? Let's do that. All right, well, let's move on because Yaya Mayweather, she has 99 problems right now because we know she took out those 2 knives and stabbed her baby's daddy's, her boyfriend's baby's mama. I'm getting mixed up all the time. No life-threatening injuries, but she it was charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. It's the deadly weapon that's probably really going to hurt her. But the charge could carry a fine of $10,000 and 99 years in prison. That's not the photo, Leo.
Not those people.
No, wrong nationality. Wait for it. But she does have a good attorney. Her attorney is Kurt Schaefer, who is familiar with defending Slim Thug, Pimp C, and Rap-A-Lot CEO Jay Prince. So she could, get off. But the thing is, she is African American. This is Texas. So, Chris, I'm going to go to you. What do you think? You think she does any jail time or just a $10,000 fine?
I don't want to answer that question. You know what? I'm going to hope it's just the $10,000 fine, and I'm going to answer it.
But no, that's what you hope. What do you logically think is going to happen?
Well, I mean, she also she got the Mayweather thing, so maybe it's just the fine. I'm here trying to be positive because look, obviously my answer, I would expect there's gonna be some jail time. I'm gonna be honest with you, that's what I would expect. But I'm hoping that maybe just the fine, and then I don't know. Why would you put this on me? I don't want to be the one answering this question.
All right, Britt, what do you think?
Well, first I would like to start by saying I was today years old when I realized Young Boy NBA stood for Never Broke Again. I never knew that.
Oh, damn. I'm right now years old. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I was today years old when I learned that. But I think that she will not serve any jail time because I think that the charges will probably eventually get dropped because Mayweather does have money, and so he'll probably just pay the girl to drop the charges. Honestly.
Yeah, but see, this is Texas though, and if any of y'all got family in Texas, and if you're African American, even if she drops the charges, the state can move to proceed with the charges if they have enough evidence. So, my family's from Texas. All I'm gonna say is I'm gonna be praying for Yaya because this is a thing. So,
I mean, there's people in Texas, black people that I do stories or watch stories about these things all the time that are literally on death row that actually never committed a crime. Right. They were just with somebody that committed a crime, and because of that, they're literally on death row. So I know Texas don't like us.
She done wrong you to be pulling knives on people in Texas. I'm just saying.
Right.
Yeah. But, okay.
At least the person she pulled it on was another.
Which is the only saving grace.
It's the only thing.
If she'd have pulled it on Devin, she'd have been in prison the same day.
Right.
All right, so look, this one I'm going to direct towards the chat now because a lot of you guys are really young, and so I just wondered if your mom was dating, well, maybe not a lot of you because it'd be illegal, but once you're of age, if your mom was dating somebody younger than you, how would you feel about it? Because there's a soccer player, Neymar Del Silvio Santo Jr., he's a player for Paris Saint-Germain and the Brazilian national team, and he is literally widely considered like one of the best soccer players in the world. But his mom, Nadine, is dating somebody who is 6 years younger than her son. She is 52. The man she is dating is Tiago. He is a gamer. He is 22. So she posted this affectionate picture and said, the inexplicable cannot be explained, you live it. Now, I personally could see this being something casual and fun for mom, but it gets weird for me because this Tiago guy wrote in 2017, he wrote, Neymar, you are fantastic. I don't know how to explain the emotion of being a fan of a guy like you. I see you playing and I'm very motivated. One day I hope to read this message with you, be your brother, and play together. I know that one day I will meet you because I am a dreamy boy where I do not give up on my goals. I think mom is a pawn.
Now he's his daddy.
Right.
Just being your brother, now he's your daddy.
This is so creepy. Devin, what is your first thought when you hear this story?
Okay, so when I first started reading this article, my thought was, wow, that mom's got it. She's dating someone younger. But then, yeah, that IGDM, I mean, that seals the deal for me. This guy is just after it for some clout. He wants to be Neymar's BFF, his brother, his stepdad.
His stepdad.
Yeah. So I feel bad, but yeah, this mom I think is being used, which is very, very sad for her.
Yeah, somebody in the chat said, let's face it, if this was a man that was 52 and a young woman, wouldn't nobody care? That's true.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I at first, like Devin was like, yeah, get a girl. Like, I don't. As long as you're of age, you're over 18 or whatever the case is, like, who cares? Talk to whoever you want, because there's so many guys. Like, number one guy that got praised for it was Hugh Hefner, talking to girls that were literally older or younger than his grandchildren were. So, like, to come in that aspect and then now look at it on the switch side and be like, ew, she should not be talking to a young guy and blah, blah. Like, forget that. Who gives a crap? Let her talk to whoever she wants to. I feel like she is probably being taken advantage of because this guy is such a big fan and he probably is like not really actually attracted to the mom, which is really sad because she probably does really like this guy. He's a young, handsome guy. I'm sure he's, you know, a lot more fun than the older guys she probably is used to. So I feel like she's getting taken advantage of in this situation. But maybe she's okay with that. Maybe she feels like they're going to take advantage of each other. I don't know what the case is. Like, who knows what, like, vibe or situation they have with each other. Like, maybe he's making her happy still, and so she's just going to be like, well, I'll just keep playing with him. He's my little boy toy for now. Who knows? But, like, I would be really sad if she was, like, really interested and really invested in him. And obviously we do know his take is, like, he's probably not actually really attracted to her. I'd be interested to see if he previously dated older women, like, if that was, like, a thing of his, or if, like, it's just this because it's his mom, you know?
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at the mom. And I know this is going to sound bad. Like, if she was just like, oh, let me have a good time. But because I would think that the young guy wouldn't be taking it as seriously either because she's 30 years older than him. But if he's got, like, ill will and he's only doing it just to get close to her son, that's when I kind of like, that's something different. But you guys in the chat, let us know because I know you guys are... What would you do if somebody was younger than you dating your mom? Let us know in the chat. I'm very curious to hear. But right now, that's all I got. So it's time to move on to Brit's Takes.
So we are going to be quick today with Brit's Takes because it's actually, I hate to do this to you guys, but we're kind of going to leave on a sad note. But I did want to make sure we covered this at some point during the Fumble. We'll start Colby Cave, who was the center for the Oilers. He was 25 years old. Over last Tuesday, he was actually airlifted to the hospital because he was having like a brain leak or something with like blood, so basically he had to have emergency surgery because he had a cyst that was causing this brain blood leakage or whatever. And because of COVID-19, none of his family, his wife included, weren't allowed to visit him. He was placed into a medical coma, and then obviously we all heard the news this weekend. He unfortunately passed away. And it's so crazy to even hear that because just this season he was playing, you know, and then to see like a young 25-year-old guy just go through something like this. And then obviously another very, very sad story. Monday morning today, we all learned that, sorry, I'm going to get sad. Travaris Jackson passed away in a car crash. Like, I remember him playing with the Vikings, and I remember the whole situation when Brett Favre was going over there, and then he knew he was going to be obviously like placed as the backup because it's Brett Favre, you know. So and he just took it so well, and he was like, you know, this is actually a great opportunity for me because I get to learn from Brett Favre now. Like, this is so cool. And he was, you know, whereas in other situations you might see a quarterback get shady or get like, dang, like they're giving my job away and yada yada. He was like always so super humble and just enjoying his experience, and so he continued to play in the league as a backup quarterback for 10 seasons. Most famously, he played with Russell Wilson and won a Super Bowl as a backup quarterback there. He started with the Seahawks that season as well. He passed away in a car crash this morning. So Russell Wilson actually tweeted out, "T-Jack, you will be missed. Praying for your family. Love you, man." So, sorry, I might cry. But my Brit's take today is just like, there's tons of like shitty things going on in the world. Everybody's like having a bad time right now, and really the only way we can kind of communicate is through social media and through whatever. And I know a lot of you guys love to be shitty trolls all the time, but let's take a step back and be a little bit better and treat each other a little bit better, because yes, the coronavirus is hurting a lot of people, it's killing a lot of people and all this stuff, but these two guys both lost their life randomly this weekend, and they weren't sick before. Like, their families didn't get to say goodbye to them, and they didn't have an opportunity to like wonder what was going to happen or whatever. They're literally just here one day and gone the next. So please try to be a little nicer to each other, especially during this time. I kind of wanted to end it with something that T-Jack actually used to say oftentimes, because a lot of time, like I said, he was a super humble guy, and he'd always try to switch the story around and make it like more positive. And people used to always ask him, oh, like as a black quarterback, because we were in a time frame at that time when he was playing that there wasn't a lot of black quarterbacks in the league anymore. And so they didn't really think black people could be great quarterbacks. Like now looking back when we have like Russell Wilson and like Patrick Mahomes and all of these guys that are like leading the way for teams, like there was a time where it wasn't like known that like, oh, black guys are good quarterbacks too. And when they would ask him like, oh, what do you want to tell young black kids that are trying to be quarterbacks in a world where only white quarterbacks are praised? And he would always say, everyone puts their pants on the same way. So like he wanted to like just be a guy that's like, listen, don't look at like the negative part of it. Look, we're all men here. We all put our pants on the same way, and we all have the same, and try to give ourselves the same opportunities. So I just wanted to leave with that, and everyone love each other a little bit more. I'm sorry it's a sad take today, but I wanted to make sure I kind of talked a little bit about these guys, and then also kind of let it be known to everybody. We just should be a little nicer to each other because everybody's having a hard time right now. And sorry for being teary-eyed, but I didn't do it before your time, Jackie. So
right,
I waited till the end.
Right.
I wish I could give you a hug right now, Britt. I feel sad that you're crying, but it is a really tragic thing to have happen, and I think that your message is profound and so necessary at this time. On that note, you guys, I think it's time that we wrap up today's show. Give each other, your roommates, a hug if you can. Wave at somebody across the street. Be kind, and we'll see you tomorrow, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.